Hey there, Razorback fans. I'm Sydney Lemmerhurt, and today I am absolutely thrilled to showcase these exceptional athletes from the Arkansas Gymbacks. Meet Maddie Jones and Jensen Scalzo, whose remarkable skill and incredible talent radiate both on and off the mat. But before we dive into their stories, let's take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Everett Auto Group. They're the driving force behind Buick's See Her Greatness campaign, celebrating the achievements and empowerment of female athletes. With locations in Benton, Bryant, and Rogers, the Everett Auto Group is all about supporting women in sports, and we are so thankful to have them on board. Now let's jump right in. As your host for today's interviews and former Gymback myself, I'm honored to guide you through the experiences and insights of Maddie and Jensen. It's time to hear their stories and discover what makes them true champions on and off the mat. So without further ado, hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So could you both tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into gymnastics?
Yeah. So I'm Jensen. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I started gymnastics when I was 5 or 6, and I did 1 year in the compulsory level, really baby levels. And then I actually took a couple years off, and I came back when I was 10.
Which is crazy.
And that's when I actually started taking it more seriously. But usually you start pretty early.
Yeah.
But I took some time off, and I tried literally every other
What?
sport.
So what level were you when you were 10? When you
At Excel, so like level 5.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I literally was a level 10 at 10. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What about you?
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I started gymnastics when I was 4, actually at American Twisters, which is where Jensen started. So fun fact. But my parents, I just had a lot of energy and was climbing out of my crib as a baby and all over the couches. And so my mom was like, we need somewhere to put this energy. So.
A stereotypical gymnast story, usually.
Yeah.
Yep. So can you both share a little bit about why you chose to come to Arkansas?
You want to go or you want me?
You can go.
Okay. I committed at the end of my 8th grade year, so I was very young. And it was actually a completely different coaching staff than it is now. Your coaches.
Yep.
But I remember, at that age, you really don't know what you want to do.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something in broadcasting, but I think overall when I came here, I just felt very at home just on the campus.
Yeah.
I remember being with my dad, and I looked at him and I was like, this is where I want to be. And then I committed on my visit.
Yeah.
But it just felt like home from the start. Like, obviously the facilities are amazing. The team was amazing. The coaches were amazing. But I just felt so at home here. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah. What about you?
I have a little bit of a different story, but I came here actually for a summer camp. And I just fell in love with the campus. Same thing. Like, it just felt like home. I loved, like, the small town feel, and just campus is just so beautiful, so it felt like home. But at that time, like, the coaching change had happened, and so I had ended up committing somewhere else on a scholarship. And then during COVID, it wasn't home, it wasn't Arkansas, and so I had decommitted and called Jordan and Chris, and they'd offered me a walk-on spot here. And so it was the best decision I ever made. It was definitely a hard one, but I knew that this is where I wanted to be, and this was home, and so I just loved it ever since.
Always brought you back. Yep. Yeah. Can you both share a time in your club career, which I'm very interested in yours since you were so late in the thing, but where you realized, like, I want to do college gymnastics, like, this is the life for me to kind of continue with this sport so seriously?
I had a teammate named Jade. She actually competed at Oklahoma, and I was very close with her, and she actually lived with me for a few years.
That's
Not
awesome.
intentionally, but we were together every single day, and she was always staying at my guest room. So, but she was a few years older than me, and she kind of had a story similar to Maddie. She was committed somewhere else and then ended up committing to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I got to kind of see the process of how she got to college and then see her thrive in college, and it, like, inspired me so much, and I looked up to her so much, and they actually called me, like, JJ, so which was like J
That's
Junior.
Cool. Yeah.
So I think she's one of the biggest reasons that I had such a aspiration to do college gymnastics.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's always a little girl's dream in gymnastics. Like, you see college gymnasts on TV, and like it's either usually the Olympics or college or both.
Yeah, or both. Yeah.
And I tried the elite route, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, I set my goals for the.
Yeah. I think I just love the sport so much, and I knew I wanted to, like, be at the next level, and, like, I tried elite for a while, and then after 2 elbow surgeries, I was like, probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
And so I just knew that, like, I wanted to go to college, and I wanted to be a part of a program where I could thrive and kind of represent the school and just keep doing gymnastics and doing what I love.
So what do you want young gymnasts or Razorback fans to kind of remember about both of y'all as they're aspiring to try to beat you one day?
Enjoy the process. I think that's like the biggest thing. Enjoy where your feet are and enjoy the process, because it goes so fast. But when you enjoy it, it makes everything so much better. Like, it's just like, be present. Like we say, like our team does so well when we're present and having fun. And I think at the end of the day, like, just do gymnastics. Like, it's not that serious.
Yeah, the most successful teams, I think, just enjoy each other and have fun. And I think, like, even the team that I was on that made nationals, like, we just, like, loved each other. We were just having fun going out there, doing it for each other. And like you said, 4 years flies by. I'm already 5 years removed, and I feel like I just graduated. So, but it's just a sport at the end of the day. So,
I think like the same, but also just to keep working hard towards your goal. Like, find something you're really passionate about and like that you want to do, and like a goal and a dream is never too big. And so like just to keep working hard towards it, because you can keep improving. Like, senior year, like I would have never thought I'd be the gymnast I am today.
Can y'all talk about social media being utilized for gymnastics and bringing some positivity to the sport?
Yeah, I mean, definitely during season, we tell our team for the most part, like, to if it doesn't benefit you, don't look at it. You know? And I think with the time we're in now, it can be used so well and for the better. Just like now with NIL, we have such an incredible opportunity to put out what we're passionate in and what we believe in, and also support brands that we love and also want to support us.
Yeah, I think it's like you're never gonna not have people who are negative. Like it's just kind of, but to see the positivity, especially like around Arkansas and around Arkansas gymnastics, has been like so cool to see this year, and like how many people were cheering us on, and like even the alumni like at nationals was incredible. Like, and just all over social media, it's like so cool to see that we want to use our platform to just bring joy and like be present in your moment. And so like I think that's just what we radiated all year, and it showed through social media. And I think it just showed how much of a family we are and how like women's sports is kind of coming up. I mean, I feel like it's getting the recognition that it deserves because of social media.
So I'm very interested to hear, because obviously this year was so special, but you each have kind of some individual things that maybe you remember. Can you guys share your most memorable thing about your gymnastics career that you're like, man, this is going to be something that lives with me for the rest of my life?
I would say day 2 regionals. I would say us making the Elite 8. Like that was like, when I committed here to come, like I was like, I want to help bring this program and like just keep improving it because of like what the alumni had done in the past, and just like keep elevating it. And so like I think like that moment was just incredible, because like since the format changed, like that's something it's hard. Like it is so hard. And so like, but we put our heads down and worked from the first day back in August, and like to see all of that hard work pay off is just, that moment is something I'll never forget. And seeing all the coaches so emotional was just, it was so cool.
It's worth it.
We love the feeling of success. Like obviously losing doesn't feel good, but like being able to leave a meet and feel accomplished, like that is something we've talked about through the year. And I think us getting to feel that on day 2 regionals as a team just meant so much. And just with this particular team, like we've been through a lot, and we've set our goals from our retreat months ago, and we stuck to them the whole year. And every single person on the team bought in every single day. And I think just like all of it together, being in Bud, the team we were with, us qualifying, I feel like so many memorable things happened in Budwell this year. Like we hit 198 in Bud. So I think honestly this season, the whole season.
I think what's cool too is we're able to like create a bond from the retreat, and like that it never was broken. Like nothing could ever break our bond, no matter the adversity we went through. And so like I think that was so special about this year. And like I've had so many people even come up to me like at meets and stuff and be like, your team just looks like family. Like you guys just look like you have fun and like you love each other. And I think that was like one of the biggest compliments, like, and beats anything over gymnastics. Like, just to know that we show that to other people.
Fun questions. That was a fun question, but some more fun questions. So do either one of you have any sort of ritual, superstition, or routine that you have to do on meet day?
This year I cut out every single superstition I had.
Hey, well that's kind of a superstition
in itself.
you
didn't eat pickles this year.
I used to eat pickles before every meet.
That's not that weird.
My freshman year, she would like bring like a bag of pickles like in her suitcase.
That's awesome.
And I decided I didn't need them anymore, so I stopped doing that.
we would like ready after meet. She's like, wait, guys, I have to stop.
Well, actually, I wear the same pajamas for every meet.
Okay.
I realized
Yeah.
I did that this year.
Well, now you got to do it again.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Stay
We'll see.
tuned. Stay tuned.
Not really. I guess I just have like a routine.
Yeah.
But like, I guess something superstitious is that I bring my own chalk to
Yeah.
every meet.
She brings a bucket of chalk.
I have never heard of that. Maybe in club, but
Well,
not in college.
Because in our freshman year, because of COVID, we all had to bring our
Oh,
own
your little
chalk.
buckets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then,
I do
like,
remember that.
I just don't trust other people.
So, you kind of, obviously, like I said, you have superstitions, but what do you guys say to yourself when maybe the girl ahead of you fell, or, you know, the meet's kind of on the line and you're up? Is there anything you kind of say to yourself or kind of remind yourself?
I think, for instance, if it were like the two of us, we're very good at like, we look at each other and like, we got it. Like, we have each other's back. Like, we have this in the bag. And I remember I usually tell her just be normal.
Yeah.
But like, I think for me, I treat it as, if it's another routine, I know I need to have my team's back, but at the same time, it's, your normal's enough. Go up and do what I do in practice.
Yes. Yeah.
It doesn't
Don't do
need to
anything
be
more.
bigger than
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think the same. Like, I think it's been really cool, especially like I feel like me and Jensen have grown together, like within the bar lineup, and like from my freshman year to now, and like now we're in the back half of the lineup, and so like there is a little bit more pressure, and like I feel like at the beginning of the year it was kind of hard for me to handle that pressure, especially after a fall.
Yeah.
But then I was able to like find my confidence and be like, I've done so many routines like in the gym, like
Yeah.
this doesn't matter. Like it's,
Yeah.
I try not to make the moment too big.
Who was y'all's first female athlete you remember looking up to, and talk a little bit about why you did?
Mine would probably still be Jade, yeah.
Yeah.
I think just she was very on herself, and she always had her blinders up, and was very goal oriented, and
Yeah.
she knew what she wanted to do, and she was going to do anything it took
Yeah.
to get there.
I think like for me a little, the first gymnast I like remember watching was Nastia, and that was like the first Olympics I actually like knew
Yeah.
what was going on.
Yeah.
And so I just remember like watching her, and I was like, I want to like be that style of gymnast, and like that's like I just loved her gymnastics, and that's
Yeah.
just kind of what I looked up to. But I think also like I switched gyms around a lot. Like I think I went to 3 or 4 different club gyms. But when I switched to Southeastern, which is them, Kinsey Davis, she's a gymnast at Nebraska now. Me and her became really close because we switched to Southeastern around the same time.
Cool. Yeah.
And she has gone through just so many injuries, so much adversity. And I think just like watching her thrive so much in college, like just inspired me to like keep going. Yeah.
Last question. So, as we kind of said with the Gymternet, there's always going to be some haters or people that have something to say, whether it's about yourself personally or your team or gymnastics as a whole, the Leo, whatever it might be. But what would you kind of say to advocate for greater respect for your sport or your team?
We can be on the same level as any other sport or any like men's sport. Like I feel like gymnastics and women's sports in general is getting the viewership, and people are seeing like how well women's sports are doing and just the climb of them. And so I think that like it's just really cool to be a part of, and you know, we can do anything anyone else can do. Like, and so I think that's just been really cool to see, and I hope that people will continue to keep supporting us.
Yeah,
So.
I agree.
I think a way kind of around it is just like, don't assume, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things behind the scenes that our team has gone through, and our team did
It's all good.
that our team has done from the first day of season, even
Yeah.
in the summer before season.
Yeah, people don't know about.
Yeah, so I think you can see a lot from the outside, but there's a lot more to a team that you don't see.
Well, thank you. This is great.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. That is our wrap for today's episode. I want to extend a massive thank you to the 2 phenomenal female athletes who joined us today. Your stories are the heart and soul of our podcast, and your greatness truly shines through. I also want to express my gratitude to the Everett Auto Group for continuing to promote the See Her Greatness campaign. With locations in Benton, Bryant, and Rogers, they're not just in the business of selling cars, they're champions of celebrating female excellence in sports. To my listeners, I can't thank you enough for tuning in and being a part of this empowering journey. Remember, you can catch up on all of our episodes and stay connected with the latest from Everett's See Her Greatness campaign by following us on social media. Until next time, keep believing in your greatness, keep striving for your dreams, and keep celebrating the incredible achievements of women in sports. This is Sydney Lemmerhurt signing off.